new questions about President Trump's relationship with his own party. After siding with Democrats last week over a short-term increase of the debt ceiling, a plan deemed ridiculous and disgraceful by Republican Paul Ryan. Later that day, I asked Speaker Ryan if the president's move signaled some kind of shift for the GOP. Are you concerned, when you hear that he's talking to Senator Schumer about doing away with the debt ceiling vote, that he is sort of looking for a new coalition?
Not really, because I think you expect the president to talk to the other party. I mean, isn't it natural that a president should be speaking with members of leadership of the other party? So that's something to be totally expected.
And with reports circulating that conservatives are plotting against Ryan's leadership role, former Speaker Newt Gingrich came to his defense, tweeting this: Paul Ryan is Speaker of the House and will remain Speaker of the House. He is intellectually brilliant, hardworking, and solidly GOP. Joining me now, Newt Gingrich, host of the new online course series Defending America and a Fox News contributor. Newt, good to see you tonight. What do you make about this argument after the president's move last week that he is, not necessarily enamored of his Republican leadership and, maybe moving in a different direction?
Well, look, I think the biggest question was whether or not when he met with the Republican leadership the day before, he should have walked him through what he was going to do. But with Trump, sometimes he moves so rapidly that nobody has advance warning, not his chief of staff, literally no one. So I don't have any idea when he made this decision in his own mind. I do have a pretty good sense of why he made it. He had just been to Houston twice. He saw how big the devastation was. He knew that Irma was coming to Florida. And he really didn't want the country to watch Washington get bogged down again in partisan infighting. And so I think he just said to himself, if I can get everything cleaned up for 90 days, if I can get the money for Houston right now, and if I can show the ability to get something actually done in Washington, all of that will help the country and will move us in the right direction, given the scale. Remember, you have the second and third largest states in the country, each with a crisis based on hurricanes.
Understood.
So I think he was trying to get momentum and movement.
But I think the assessment that what you said in the beginning is very important. If that was all it was about, he would probably have said, look, you guys, when we go in there, I'm going to do a deal here. And, we're on the same team, right? We're all on, they're all on the Republican team. I want to play something that Kellyanne Conway said that I found also very interesting and get your response to this because it's along the same lines.
This is a person who believes in negotiating. He believes in getting a good deal for the American people. He's not the head of the Republican Party. He's not making a deal with the Democrats.
I thought she said he's not the head of the Republican Party. Doesn't any president usually consider himself to be the standard bearer, the leader of his own party?
Well, maybe, although I think Eisenhower probably saw himself more as an American figure, and I think Trump sees himself as an American figure. I think
right.
Trump is a Republican, but he doesn't get up in the morning and say, my #1 job is to build the Republican Party. I think he sincerely is wrestling with how do you make America great again. I think he was very frustrated coming out of the summer with the inability to get things done on a partisan basis. And I think there's a little bit of floundering here that I think may be creative and healthy. We are in a different world. None of us fully know how the next 6 months are going to work out. I think for the Republicans, there's one absolute total imperative, and that is to pass a tax cut by Thanksgiving. And I think Trump has every reason to be worried that they won't be able to do it. And so I think that he approaches this with real trepidation.
You stuck up for Paul Ryan in that tweet, clearly. There's some speculation that Mark Meadows and Steve Bannon are sort of plotting for new leadership, and that maybe the president wants to see that too. There were reports out of that meeting that it wasn't actually Paul Ryan he was that upset with, but Mitch McConnell is somebody who has really caused him a lot of consternation, and he's not that happy with. Do you think that's true?
Well, it's probably true. Part of that's because I think it's very, very difficult for the president to understand the Senate. Mitch McConnell has the hardest job in Washington right now. He has a very narrow majority. Remember, he got 49 out of 52 to vote with him. The Democrats were 48-0 against him. It always amazes me. That's a 16-to-1 ratio. That is, 16 Democrats voted no for every Republican who voted no, but everybody focuses on the 3, not the 48. So I think McConnell's got a very, very hard job, and I think it's easy to say, oh, let's do it differently. This is the Constitution of the United States. This is how the system works. And the president's going to have to find a way to get things through the Senate. Now, the problem he's got is there aren't many things he can agree with Schumer on that actually have substance, because Schumer represents a very liberal party. Schumer would like to have a tax increase, not a tax cut. Schumer would like to have more power in Washington. And if you look at what the Trump team is doing in terms of cutting red tape and cutting regulations, that's not Schumer and Pelosi's world. That's Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell's world.
Interesting. Newt Gingrich, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you.